Hello. Yes, good evening. Today I'm going to be showing you how most systems are being um, penetrated, that is, are being hacked, especially when you have a system whereby the system is being locked and you need somebody to get into that system. So I'm going to be showing you exactly the same way. Most of the times when we see most of these things in movies, some of them are real and some of them are not real. So basically, what is real is that we can actually get into a system which is passworded, that is a system which is locked and passworded by any office user. So I'm going to be showing you briefly how that possible. So just work with me while we actually see how possible is that. So I have my Windows machine here. First of all, I'm going to boot it up. Then I will also boot it up and see if we can actually get into the system. So now I'm taking this system as a system which I actually don't know the password. I just stumbled on the system and I needed to do what? To actually get information from the system. So what will I do? So this system, this Windows machine you're seeing that is booting up, I don't know the user. I actually stumbled at this system. I had the user of the system actually passworded the system. So I want to show you how it's going to be possible. So hold on. Let's hold on while we put into that machine. I think I have error here. Let me reboot the machines back. A disclaimer: we should not do this on any system which you don't have permission to actually crack or penetrate into. So that is the major reason I'm actually using my virtual machine that has the Windows that already installed the Windows ISO to be able to do these lessons. So I'm going to put back to that Windows again and see let's see if it's going to come up. Just a moment. Just a moment. Let's see. Okay. Okay, it's coming up now. So like I said, this machine is actually, this Windows system is, I'm not the owner of it. We are taking it that way. Let's take it that way. And I don't know the password to the system. So I have the duty to be able to get into that system, break it, and take out files which I want from the system without the user actually knowing. So I'm going to show you how it's going to be. So let's give it time, let it boot up. Okay, it's coming up. I think I shut it down. So it has booted up now. We now have the machine. It has booted up now. So let's see how it's going to go. So this machine, like I said, I just stumbled out at it, or I've been given an assignment to actually penetrate it without knowing the password. So I'll be showing you now. For this, I don't actually know the password. We're assuming I don't know the password for this. So what are we going to do? Looking at this now, the first step of actually penetrating into the system is, um, if you look at here, you see some icons here. Here we have the power, we have here the easy of access and that of the network internet. It's the network internet indicator here. So each one of these icons are actually applications or executable which is found in this Windows system, and we all always have this icon in every systems, especially when we have the login screen itself. So what I'm going to be doing is that I am going to be using, I'm going to be putting into, uh, I'm going to be changing one of these icons to give us a terminal, because what I need is a terminal to be able to write my own commands that will be executed to help me to do what? To penetrate the system. So I need to get a terminal. Looking at it here, I don't have a terminal. So if I check here now, you see this and everything. Here you see all of them. So what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to change one of this icon, and the one I'm going to change is this easy of access itself. So I want it to give me, once I click on it, to give me a terminal, because most of the time, every security pen tester always make use of what? Make use of the terminal. So that is our own duty. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do is that I am going to prepare something like a Windows ISO file, which is used to do what? To reload the Windows. So I will prepare that and store it in a flash drive. So majorly, most of the time, those ISO file, Windows ISO file, is used to maybe just to reboot or to repair a Windows, to reload a Windows, to make it fresh and to make it fresh and new. Take for instance, your Windows is corrupt, so you will need a new window, a fresh window. So those ISO file is being installed or being it's being saved in a flash drive and used to do what? To reinstall the Windows and make you have access to that system. So that same ISO file is what we are going to be using to crack this password and to get access to this, and even do more elevated privilege, like to elevate our privilege to do more tasks, more than what we can think, more than cracking the password itself, like creating users. We are going to create users different from this. Like this user, you're saying Zico here, and we are saying here administrator, we are saying Zico here. So these are the users. So by the time we are done with this lecture or this video, we'll be able to create another user without with an elevated privilege, just like the administrator. So like I said, I'm going to change one of this icon to give me what? A terminal for me to be able to run my script and to run my program language. So what we are going to do is to reboot this again and take first, like I said, I will have a ISO file installed in a USB flash drive, so that I can be able to use that, because I need that to be able to crack this. So I've done that. And I'm going to plug in my what is to call it? Plug in my flash drive with that ISO. So this is the wrong code. So I'm going to plug in the right USB. So I plugged it in, then I'll restart the system again so that I can boot from that flash drive now. So we are going to wait for it to reboot this. So a little disclaimer, like I said from the onset of this video, please don't try this on a system which you're not given the permission to actually break or penetrate or crack. So you can try it like in a VM virtual machine, just like the way I'm doing, so that you will not just be in the hands of the lawmakers, or maybe the security people may be after you so for such act. So let's hold till this tends to reboot itself again. So it's restarting. Let's just hold. Remember, I've placed so I'm going to type press any key from here to boot into that CD or DVD or the flash drive itself. So the next thing you're going to see from here should be the ISO Windows file, which is a blue screen. And here we come. For those who are technical people like IT people, especially software people that has to do with Windows, that reloads Windows, they understand this particular screen. So from here we are going to, this is like a screen, the welcome screen, whereby in case you want to reload your Windows that has been corrupted, and you take that ISO file and place it, burn it in that disk or in that flash drive, and you plug it in the system, boot from that place, it gives you this blue screen as a welcome screen. So the next thing you're going to do, let's see if you want to install it. So instead of me going down to install now, after selecting the Windows type, I will go to repair your computer. So instead of me clicking on, we have this three options. Instead of me clicking on continue, I will go down to troubleshoot. And from here, like I said, I need a uh, a terminal to be able to run my script, and that is what I want. So command prompt is a utility or a tool in every system that has to do with terminal, that provides you with a terminal. So this, I'm going to go to this. Now I'm going to navigate. This is like a terminal, a black screen. We call it a black screen, but this is more powerful that we can use to do many things. Many things. We can use it to do many things. So like this is the black screen now, and like I said, this is what I want to run my script. So I will navigate to where those three icons is in this particular system, this Windows system. So based on that, I will take it from here, the E drive, then cd to the directory, cd to the drive directory, then cd to another directory called system 32. So this is what I actually want. I'll clear it so that it will be able, we are going to get what this is the directory which I'm going to, which those three icons are found. System 32 is a folder where those three items, those icons I showed you from the onset, from the login screen, are really found. So I'll be running my script from here. So I will explain every single bit of what we are doing here, but just follow me and see what I'm going to do. Now, what I'm going to do, like I said, the easy of access is what I'm going to change, uh, instigate to actually give me this black screen from that end. So when we boot into that and get those three icons, if I press on easy of access, I must be able to get this screen. Now, some people may ask me, why can't I just do whatsoever I want to do from here? Yes, I can do whatsoever I want to do from here. You understand? But the major thing is that there are the two ways. In case you want to leave that access there, you can also make this in black screen just be there, and the person will not even know, because most people see those icons, the easy of access, they don't even use it, except maybe when they want to use the keyboard. Maybe their keyboard is that bad and they want to actually use the on-screen keyboard for it. So I'll run the program from here. Now what I'm going to do is I'll run some set of commands here. Now just go with me from here. So what I'm doing is that this RAEN is renamed. I'm renaming this command prompt executable to this for the first step. I know you may not understand, but the major thing is that you will tend to understand by the time I run the remaining script. So first step, I renamed that command prompt utility. The command prompt is a black screen, so I'm renaming it to utman.exe. Now, second script we are going to run is we are going to change utman. Now, this utman we are saying here is that easy of access. Easy of access we see from the onset. So that easy of access under system 32 is also. So that easy of access, which we saw from the onset, is under system 32 folder. It is also known as utman .exe. So that particular application will be renaming it to cmd.exe. Let me bring it here. cmd.exe. So we have two commands which I have run. So the last command I'm going to be running, or the last script I'm going to be running, is this utman2.exe. I'll be renaming it back to utman.exe. So I will have utman2.exe to utman.exe. So these are the three commands I will be running now. So we only need this three command to be able to give me that command line, that terminal from whenever I clicked on easy of access. So after doing these three commands, so let me actually explain what happens here. First of all, we actually renamed the command prompt cmd.exe application to utman2.exe, thereby giving us the reasons why we had to rename it down to this is just to make sure that whenever we are renaming this utman to cmd.exe, it will be able to, like, you're just changing the name. We are just changing the name. We are changing the name so that it is only just the name we are changing. So whenever the system sees what I'm saying, what I'm trying to let you know is that whenever the system sees this CMD, because now the second command says we are changing utman to CMD. So whenever the system sees cmd.exe, it does not care about the content, whether it is really CMD. It is just saying the name. So once it sees the name cmd.exe, he will actually bring out that terminal. You understand? So it does not care about the content and everything. So we are going to see more of it. Now I'm going to exist from this application and continue from it now. The major purpose of doing that is to ensure that we are able to, whenever we click one of those three icons, especially easy of access, it should give us what? A terminal. It should give us a terminal whereby I can be able to run my commands, run my script, so that I can be able to crack this Windows, which I don't know the password. So let's hold on and see what it's going to. Let's allow it to load. Let's allow it to load, and when it loads, we'll now see. Okay. Okay. Okay, it's coming up now. Remember, our major task is to ensure that I crack the password of this, to change it and give and also to do more of the tasks by adding user to it. Now it has loaded from here. It has loaded. So this is the three icons now. And our major purpose is I don't know the password of this. I stumble on this particular system whereby I don't actually know the password, but I'm supposed my task is to get into the system and get whatsoever I want to get out of the system. And for me to be able to get anything from the system, I must be able to crack this password and be able to bypass the password itself. So, and again, to also do more by creating, because we have two users here, I can also do more by creating, if it's possible, to create a user, a silent user, whereby I can, anytime I want to come back to the system, when the person is off the system, the really original person is off the system, and I want to come back to the system. Maybe I forgot to take out the complete thing, maybe a file or a document or anything, or to plant even a virus into the system, and I want to come back again. I can create a user, and once I create a user here, I can still come back to the system without the knowledge of the original owner of this system and still do what I want to do without him knowing. So what we're going to do is that, remember when we click on this easy of access, it brings us to a list whereby the on-screen board is actually also among. Now, after running my commands from using the ISO file, Windows ISO file from the command line, if I click this, it should give us this. Now, this is what I want. Now, instead of giving us that list whereby the on-screen keyboard is among, so I now have this. Now, one good thing about this is that I can decide to leave it this way. You understand? I can decide to leave it even after performing my tasks on this system, which I'm not the real owner of it. I can decide to just, okay, no problem. I'll just leave it this way. So when the user comes back, when he comes back to the system, he will not even notice what really happens. Now, the real scope of it is that I'm not going to crack this password. You understand? I can decide to either, okay, let me crack this password if I want to crack the password. That is one. Or I can decide to say, okay, I don't want to leave any traces, because if I crack the password and use another password itself, definitely when the real owner comes back, he will actually notice something. By the time he imputes his own password, he will actually notice that the thing is giving him wrong password. Then he will now know something has been done. Now let's move further. Enough of this talk. Now we already have what we have. Like I said, I need this black screen. Now if you look here, it's saying utman.exe, utman.exe. So from here, this is what I want. Now I want to crack this password now. So I will need to look for how many users are actually in this particular in this particular system. You understand how many users are in this particular system? Okay. So this, we have the administrator and we also have Zico. Now I want to crack this password. Now, like I said, I don't know the password, so I will now write some set of commands on this password. Which user I want to crack is Zico. If you see from here, if I drag this down, you could see that the user here is Zico. The real original owner is Zico. So I am going to crack the password of this particular user. So I'll write this set of commands by putting Zico, then an hyphen. Now looking at this, it will ask me of the password I want to use instead. Now the beauty about this is that for those who know how to change password, in in your system. Once you want to change your password in your Windows system, if I want to change your password in your Windows system and I don't know the old password, it will actually require me to put in the old password. So if I want to do something malicious, I want to change the password from your system, it will ask me of the old password. And since I don't have the old password, I will not be able to change it. So, but with this particular method, it will not ask you the old password, but the new password. So here is asking for the new password. I'm going to type the new password, which is 123456789. Now, you're not seeing anything on the screen because it is how the terminal is being built. So if you are typing the password on the terminal, you will not see it. You understand? So don't be afraid about that. I only typed 1 to 9 as a password. So I'm going to press enter. It will still ask me to type to confirm the password which I type, the new password I type. So I'll type it again. 1 to 9, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and I press enter. So here is it gives me command completed successfully. Definitely I've been able to change the password of this particular user. Now let's now try it here to see if it's going to work. 1 to 9 I said, 1 to 9 I said, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Now you can see it there. So if I press enter now, let's see if we can get into the main system. Let's see if we can get, if that password will go, which we set already. Let's see if we can get into the system. Still checking it out. Still checking it out. Let's hold on and see if it's going to actually give us access. And here we are. So we now have access to it. We now have access to the system. We now have access to the system. Now, one good thing about it is that I've been able to crack this user's password, so I can take anything I want to take from it now and still just lock it. But the thing is that if the user comes and tries his old password in it, it will reject it and say that is not the password. And from there, the person will be able to know that something has been done on his system or something is wrong. How will they pass his own original password just change like that? And to tell you, I've been able to have gone away already. So he may decide to ask people and ask and say if anyone came close to his own system. So I may get caught by there. So majorly, what most of the perpetrators or threat actors do is that instead of tampering with the user's password, they will either create another user. Now, I'm going to do that now. So when they create another user, they will give that user a new password. Now, they will not tamper with that SQL credentials. They won't tamper with it so that it will not raise suspiciousness to it. So they will create another user, add a new password to that user, and do whatsoever they want to do from there. You understand? So do whatever they want to do. So when they do it, they leave. So once the original user, owner of the system comes back and type his password to his system, it will accept it. So there will not be any red flag to show that there's a problem. Now let's see how that will go. Now to create that user, we are going to log the system again. We'll log. So from here, we're going to proceed towards adding a user. Like I said, you don't want the original user to be able to know that you have actually come across his system and done any malicious acts on it. So we're going to log the system again. On-screen keyboard, we'll lock it. So the goal is just to lock is Windows L. So it's locked. So from here now, the goal is to just make sure that we don't want to raise any red flags. We don't want to raise any red flags for the user, the real original user of the system, to be able to know that we have come across it. So here we only have 2 users. So the only way we are going to do is to, in case we have not cracked this and we don't want to touch the this user, what we'll do is just leave the user's password that way without touching it, without even changing it at all, like we did now. We'll just leave it that way, and we'll now add a user. Like we have here SQL, we have this 2 user, we can add another user to it. So to do that, we can do this. First of all, we can still change that SQL password again using the same thing. You know, the password we chose was the password we choose is 1 to 9 for that SQL user, for the real owner this thing. So let's make it 1 to 5. Let's make it 1 to 5 here. Let's change the password to 1 to 5. 1 to 5. And we have changed it. Now, same thing. If I exit here, let's see if it has changed. Remember, we're still getting back to that goal of adding user. So I'm going to type this password. Formerly we use 1 to 9. Okay, 1 to 5 now, and press enter, and it opens. So you can see that it's really changed everything. So let's go to the main goal of adding a user and not raising a red flag. So I'm going to lock the system again. Let's lock it again. Windows R for locking system. Then we are here. So what we're going to do is to add a user to this origin user to this now. And once we add it, we can okay, let's just add it first. So we'll still take this terminal and we add a user. Let's say we want to add a user called Kamal. Let's add a user called Kamal to it. Then we add. And here we have added a user called Kamal. So if we are going to check the users, like we used the other command, we will see Kamal is being added. So we have 3 users now: administrator, Kamal, and Zico. So administrator, Kamal, and Zico. Now let's assign a password to Kamal's what is call it to Kamal. Let's add a password to Kamal. Okay, let's add a password to Kamal. So we can add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to Kamal. Confirm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to Kamal. So here I'm going to exit. Another thing is that Kamal will just be an online user. So, and the difference between these 3 is that these have a higher privilege than these 2. As an administrator, you have a higher privilege, so you will not be restricted for performing some action. So what about if I want the whole privilege, just like as an administrator? So what I would do is either I change the password for this administrator or elevate the privilege of Kamal to be an administrator. So to do that, we can use this command. Now, from here now, we have this three user, like I said, administrator. I know you are not seeing it here, but soon we are going to see it here. We are going to see it here. Or let me see if it has come. Let's close this. It will not show until we reboot. So it will not show until we reboot. So let's go back first and elevate Kamal's privilege to be an administrator so that we can be able to have full rights to do anything. So from here we look at the three users. So I will click on the Kamal as a user. You can even see it. Kamal. We only have okay, Zico is also on the real owner also is also having administrator privilege. Why the same with the administrator? So well, let's make Kamal an administrator. So I'll click on property, go down to group membership, click and make it instead of a standard user, I can make it an administrator, apply, okay, and what else again? Nothing. So you could see it has changed from here. Then we'll press OK. So what we're going to do now, we are going to exit from here. Remember we chose 127 for Kamal's password. We can reboot, restart it again, restart it again. We can restart it again so that it will come up. We'll have, by the time we restart it, we'll have 3 users there. So once we restart it and it comes up now, instead of having those 2 users, initial users, we'll have 3 users, which includes Kamal. So let's look at it now. It's coming up. So this also is still the same thing, like in case you have been given a task to actually penetrate the system without raising a red flag. So instead of going by the initial way of actually changing the password of the real owner of the system and raising a red flag, because when he come back and try his own password and says that, oh, it's not working or it's not giving him access, he will be suspicious that somebody has touched it. Should be up. Should be up now. Let's see. And now it is up. So let's check how many users has been added. Now we are doing this from the login screen. And we have Kamal here. So we will just go to Kamal and it has given us this. We type the password, which is 127. Then we check and confirm. So 127 is Kamal's password, which we assign to him. Then we press enter. And here we are in Kamal's screen. Here we are in Kamal's screen now. So let's give it time because it's a new user we have added. So it will actually looks like to actually prepare the user's display desktop in the right way. So you have to give it time. Okay. Okay, let's give it time. Let's give it time. It's coming up. So let's give it time. Should come up in a moment now. Should be able to come up. So it should be able to come up now. So let's give it its time. So one thing about it is that after creating this user, you make it appear on the login screen. It's just that you will need to do what? You will need to because if it appears on the login screen, the real owner may be able to. It may also raise a red flag to the real owner because once he sees another user being displayed at the login screen, he will now do what? He will now be suspicious that something has gone on. So once you create such account, you can decide to delete after collecting or doing whatsoever you want to do with that Kamau user. You can decide to delete it, or if you intend to come back later to do whatsoever you want to do, you can deactivate it. You can deactivate it. Now we are now in Kama. Listen, so you can deactivate it and let it do what? And hold on for some time. You can deactivate it and hold on and just leave. And whenever you are back to that system, you can reactivate it using that same method. Now, we are already in Kama's system. Now, assuming I want to collect files, like take files from, because the real owner is Zico as a user, I want to take file from Zico's, the user called Zico. I can just go to the PC, go to C drive. Now, each and every user's desktop will be different. Definitely Zico's one will be having enough files, and I need files from that user. So I will just go to PC, go to C drive, and go to user to see the whole users we have. Then under here, we will have the three user administrator, Kamal, and Zico. So we go to Zico, we click on Zico and continue. And continue from there. So wait for it to open. Wait for it to open the folder itself. So we are doing this now. See, we are under the same user, so you can be able to take files from this particular user without logging into that user, without using that user's credential to log in. So I'm using Kamal user to access Zico's files and property, which is another user. So I can go to his desktop and see this, and if there's any file there, I can just pick it out and plug a USB drive to this system, and just it will actually reflect under here in the PC. Then I can just pick up the file and just save it there. I can pick up the file and do what, and just save it there. So in that case, when you pick up the file, you can actually take the file from that place and do whatsoever you want to do and log out from this. Now, like I said, if you after taking the file, if you leave that way without deactivating that Kamal user, you will end up raising a red flag to the user itself. You will end up raising a red flag to the user itself, and that would be very, very bad. That would be very, very bad. Now let's lock the system. Let's assume you have taken the file which you want. You lock the system, and once you lock it and leave, anytime the user, the owner of this system, comes back after you have left and he wants to log in, it is obvious you are going to see all this and you are going to see this. So, and his original account or user his account is equal. So once you see this, even though you change it like this, if you reboot it, it will still come back to the last login user. So what you need to do is to deactivate this actual user, and that we are going to see from this aspect, because when you deactivate it or you delete the user after doing it, now if in terms of deleting it, when you delete it, that means you are not coming back again, or maybe when you come back you will create another user. But if you want to still use that user again, you can deactivate it, and once you deactivate it, it will not be showing here. So it will be inactive and will not be showing here. So with the original owner of the system, he will not be able to know or will not be able to see. So thereby it will clear all red flag from it. So let's see how this is. So let's see how we can actually delete this user which we have created already. So let's go back to that easy of access which I have turned to a terminal. And the most surprising thing is that most people will not even actually know. They don't actually go to this easy of access. So except maybe their keyboard is being bad, that is when they can be able to go here and use that on-screen keyboard utility to be able to gain access. So let's say I want to delete. The same way we added is the same way we are going to delete it. Just for the purpose of not raising red flags after we have done what we want to do. So we want to delete Kamal, the user which we created. Want to delete it. So from there, we will just type this command and it will be deleted. Now, if we check from here, you can see that we only have 2 users now. So Kamal is out of it now. You have deleted it now. There's no more red flag. But you may be wondering and say, let's cancel this now. Let's exit this. You may be wondering, it's still here. Yeah, it's still there. But if you reboot it, let's reboot it, you'll find out that it is only these 2 users you will see. So let's restart and see the 2 users. You'll see if we can only see only that 2 users. So it's 2 ways, like I said. You can either, after doing what you want to do, you delete the user which you have created and just go your way, or you make it inactive. So most people do delete it, and some do make it inactive. That means when you make it inactive, it will not show on that, it will not show on the login screen, that it will not be reflected on the login screen like you see Ezekiel and the administrator itself. So, but that does not mean the account is not there. The account is there. So if you use that command we use, this script we use, or this set of command we use from the terminal, you will find out that it will be there, but it is not reflecting on the login screen. So let's hold on while we reboot this particular the system again and confirm if it has been truly deleted. So let's hold and wait. It's coming up. So let's give it time. It's going to come up. So after doing what you want to do, after deleting it, you just do what? You just reboot or shut down. And even though the user comes back and the original user comes back, he may not and sees its system off. He may think maybe the battery went down. And if he found out that the battery did not go down, it's still not a red flag for it. Still not a red flag. So let's hold. Let's hold. Let's hold. I don't know why it's not coming up now. See it coming up. Let's give it time. Time. Give it time.